I love Digimon. I love the show, the games, the weirdness of its creature designs. It reminds me a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! In the sense that while the card game was fun to watch, the show was always about the people playing the game, not the game itself. Digimon has always been a show about personal growth and limitless potential, represented quite nicely by Digivolution as a concept. These guys can become anything, basically, and their human partners tend to grow and change as the show goes on. But, like any media with a destined anything in it, I always wondered, who would my partner Digimon be? And with Digimon Time Stranger and Beat Break set to release in October, I thought I'd throw my hat into the Digi-ring. So today, I'm going to make an evolution line for my co-host Emilio. Now before we get started, I just want to say that while rewatching the show and playing games like Cyber Sleuth got me back into Digimon, a big inspiration for this video in particular was KhanEX, whose videos I've been watching a bunch of lately. He also does a lot of these evolution line videos, as well as videos about Digimon in general, so if you like this, please go and check him out. There's a link in the description to his channel. It's a great time. Alright, let's go. For Emilio's partner Digimon, I wanted to choose something that spoke to his interests. Longtime viewers of the channel know that Emilio is a HEMA enthusiast, running the biggest HEMA club in the country, as well as a big fan of wargames, Lego, and mechs. But I think focusing on the sword side of his interests is the way to go here. So let's start from the beginning with Metal Koromon, who will digivolve into Kopurimon. Pretty classic, and I think this little armor friend fits into Emilio's whole deal well. Now there's a few options we could go for here, like Pawn Chessmon in either variety, but I don't think that's the right move. Then it struck me. As an enjoyer of Digimon World DS, I know Kopurimon can also evolve into Kotemon, who's just perfect for Emilio. While Kendo and HEMA are different, the Kendo helmet does resemble the fencing masks used in HEMA a lot, and Kotemon's reference book entry describes how often it trains and wants to be a top-class swordsman. Brilliant for a sword fighting instructor like Emilio. Then there's the champion line, which gave us a few options. Dino Humon is the classic Evo for Kotemon, but not quite what we're going for. Musayamon is also not quite there, being a little too aggressive. I quite like Yaxamon as a continuation of Kotemon, but no. I think the obvious choice here is Gladimon. One of Emilio's favorite parts of sword fighting is the armor, and I think Gladimon's armor mixed with the fact that they use sabers fits more into the HEMA image. And its reference book entry notes how it creates formations in collaboration with its comrades, which fits Emilio's love of sword fighting and strategy to a T. Plus, it leads well into the ultimate pick, Nightmon. Again, we had some options. Frozomon would have been fun and leaned into Emilio's love of vehicles. Grademon continues the armor theme and the dual swords, as does Vajramon, albeit being a little more bestial, but no. Nightmon is exactly what I think Emilio would look for in a Digimon. Fully armored, multiple swords, and I quite like the theme of the swords changing type for every evolution, going from a Shinai in Kotemon to sabers in Gladimon to more longsword / greatswords in Nightmon. Truly the perfect ultimate for our boy. And now, for the part everyone's been waiting for, the Mega. Craniummon gets used as a Nightmon Mega a lot, and it's not hard to see why from how similar their designs are. Then of course, Gaomon is here to bring back the Japanese theming, lizard-like attributes, and weapon change. And weirdly, Seraphimon? I guess it's not that weird. Nightmon's shield is emblazoned with the Crest of Hope, which is heavily connected to the Angemon line. Also, Seraphimon fits the color scheme of Emilio's Digivice, which is neat. Any of these work, but something didn't feel quite right. Until I showed Emilio a certain Mega and he fell in love. Gallantmon. Specifically, Gallantmon Crimson Mode. Gallantmon has the dinosaur / lizard elements from Kotemon and the armor and weapon change from Gladimon, and the night connections and shield from Nightmon. Then Crimson Mode, which is Emilio's favorite, considered the end of the line because it's a mode change, not technically an evolution. I love this for Emilio, because one of his favorite things in media is paladins / angelic knights, and Crimson Mode is exactly that. He's fully armored, bewinged, and gets another weapon change to a spectral lance and sword. Perfecto. So here's the line in all its glory, and I believe we proved today that Emilio's true Digimon partner is for sure Kotemon. But what if it wasn't? Okay, hear me out. Remember way back in the beginning when I said Digimon evolutions represent limitless potential? Well, I thought a fun way to do that is with an alternate evolution line. Like Adventure 02, where the armor evolutions gave the partner Digimon alternate forms. So we start again with Kapurimon, but instead of going the sword route, we delve into Emilio's other interests and evolve him instead into Toy Agumon. It plays into Emilio's love of Lego, and it has a justice-loving nature, which is Emilio all over. As for the champion, Gardramon works best here. It fits not only into Emilio's love of mecha, but also his love of steampunk. What with all the rust coloring, extraneous pipes and vents, and the literal hatch in its stomach. That leads us to the ultimate, Locomon. Don't look at me like that, viewer. Emilio picked this one. But honestly, I'm on board. While the coloring changes from rusty to deep blue, I think the way the eyes are pictured are pretty similar to Gardramon's, and the claws at the front give a similar vibe to Toy Agumon's dinosaur theming. Plus, if you caught our Train Valley 2 streams, you know how fond of trains Emilio is. That makes the Mega a no-brainer, with Grand Locomon finishing off the line. This is great, especially with that Adventure 02 reference I made earlier, since the Digimon in that show tended to have a form that was more suited for travel. Visually, Grand Locomon regains the pipes from Gardramon, now as exhausts, and the faceplate resembles War Greymon's, which is cool as that's Agumon's Mega and this is Toy Agumon's Mega. The coloring is also similar to Emilio's Digivice, which is still neat. Finally, I love that the Kotemon line ended with a very humanoid Digimon with a red coloring, but the Toy Agumon line ends with a vehicular Digimon with a blue coloring. It all fits together nicely. Kind of like Lego. And those are the lines, baby! Emilio's partner Digimon are Kotemon and Toy Agumon. Which do you think is the true line? Or is this a Digimon World Next Order scenario where he has both? Let me know in the comments, as well as who you think your partner would be. I had a lot of fun looking up potential evolutions for these two, sharing them with my friend and constructing this almost narrative together. One of the many joys of being a fan of something is finding a way to involve your friends in it, and I love that I got to do that here. I'm thinking of doing my partner video next, and if this video does well enough, who knows? So be sure to let us know if you guys like this. The best way to do that is by liking, subscribing, or checking out our Patreon or channel memberships. Patrons and channel members get to see these videos early, as well as bonus content, so if you're keen on living that illustrious life, why not check it out? But speaking of Patreon, huge thanks to our patron Dorian for helping to support the channel. It really means the Digimon world to us. And remember, never stop growing. Who knows, you could be one step away from Mega. So long, everyone.